So welcome everybody to our webinar, The Power of Resilience. We are so excited that you guys decided to tune in with us on this evening. Thank you to those who are watching live and to those who will watch the replay. We are just honored that you would support us in such a manner. So what is the point of this webinar? Why are we doing it? What's the big deal? Well, the big deal is because we're a big deal, right? And so what we're doing is a big deal. And what we're doing is encouraging teen mothers and young mothers to never give up on life, to never give up on their dreams, and to remind them that they are resilient women. So my name is Shantae Williams, and I am the founder and CEO of I Am Still Somebody nonprofit. And we help teen mothers, we mentor teen mothers, teach life skills, and all of that good things. And what we did to help support the organization was we started an anthology series There is a Jewel in You. And so this is volume 2. And so we are just so excited about this group of authors that we have. You know, every year it gets better and better. So I'm just totally geeked out. I'm just totally impressed and just totally honored that this group of women would join the movement and trust me with their stories. And so I count it a privilege and an honor for me to be able to partner with them. So you're going to be able to hear from them. You're going to hear just a snippet of their story, right? And they're going to let you know how you can get in touch with them, how you can follow them, and how you can order the book on their particular websites, because everybody will be able to sell their books on their particular websites. And so I am so excited about that. And so unfortunately, all of our authors were not able to make it tonight, but those that are here, we're definitely going to go forward and have an awesome time and have an awesome conversation. So this is going to be pretty much like a panel discussion. And so I am your host. And so I have the honor of hosting these beautiful young women. And so, listen, I just can't wait for you guys to just get to hear them so that you can see what they're about and what they're doing. Every last one of them are doing absolutely amazing things. They were already amazing before they connected with us, and they just took it up a notch. And so I am excited. So we're going to go ahead and introduce our authors. We're going to start. Our youngest author is actually still a teen, and I'm just so proud of Miss Alexis because she's in college and she's a scholar, and she is doing so many great things as a young mother and a young college student. She is very inspirational, and I'm telling you, any young mother that is watching this, I don't care what people tell you. It is possible. If you have the desire in your heart and you're willing to put in the hard work, you're willing to be disciplined, you're willing to be committed, you can make it happen. And Alexis is doing it. So if she's doing it, there's no reason why you can't do it, right? And so we just have to buckle down and make sure we get it done. So Miss Alexis, if you can unmute yourself and introduce you, please, ma'am. I can't find you. Okay, there you go.
All right, my name is Alexis Bates. Like as she mentioned, I am a teen mother still. I had my daughter when I was just 13. I'm in college right now. I'm a junior. I just changed my major, so I'm kind of still trying to figure out what path I want to go on. But I guess I can just start with what resilience means to me. Resilience is like being able to recover from setbacks, and resilient people have certain characteristics that we have to possess. And one is having deep belief, being accepted to reality, knowing that life is meaningful and willing to improvise. And with all those, you can bounce back from any hardship. And that's kind of it.
Wonderful. Miss Lakeisha.
Would probably help if I took it off mute. How are you all? I am Lakeisha. For those, I know the Jewel family knows me, but my name's Lakeisha. I currently reside in Virginia for now, and I am a mother. Started out, of course, teen mother. We know that because of the book. Had my first child at 18. So honored. Thank you so much for allowing me this great opportunity to be involved in such an amazing book.
All right, Miss Sana.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sana. I am from Connecticut, and I became a teen mom when I was 18 years old. I currently am a mother of 2 and a wife of 10 years. And I work alongside my husband in ministry. We have a after school program and a camp that we do. And so I'm just excited to be a part of the Jewel family.
Yay. All right, Miss Witt.
Hey, want to make sure you can hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. So my name is Wit. I am an author. I had a book before joining the ladies, and it's all centered around domestic violence. So I'm a domestic violence survivor, and most of what I do has to do with educating men, women, and children about prevention as well as spreading awareness so that they can get out. I became a mom when I was 18. I have 2 daughters now, one who is a teenager herself, and then also a 7-year-old. So I'm glad to be here and among all of you.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Miss Christina.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Christina. I am the founder of Mahogany Angels, which is a nonprofit for girls 8 to 17, and we go over everything possible, just giving them essential things of life. Author of first book, Broken in God's Grace. But I am privileged and honored to be among such amazing and powerful women in the opportunity to be able to share my story. I have a 13-year-old daughter, and so I am excited about what's to come with everything here.
All right, wonderful. Thank you, ladies. So we're just missing a few ladies. But we're going to jump right into this panel discussion. And so we have a series of questions that we're just going to kind of ask and have certain ones to answer, just kind of get this conversation going. So I'm going to ask a directed question, but if you feel led to answer the question, please do so after the author has already finished. So for those of you who may be wondering, well, Shantae, how do you fit in the mix of all of this? Well, I too was a teen mother. I became a teen mother at the age of 15. And for so long, I was haunted by that. I didn't, I had insecurities. I was always fearful. I was always on edge and always doing whatever I felt like needed to be done for my daughter. I didn't know my purpose. I didn't know who I was. I didn't have an identity outside of being a mother. So that was my whole world. And so as I began to grow and mature and get introduced to different things, I began to realize that, that's just a label. That it doesn't define who I am. It's a part of my story, but it's not who I am. So I want to be what I didn't have when I was coming up. And so every last one of us can probably tell you stories of things that we needed during that time that we didn't necessarily have access to. And now that we can see it from hindsight, we can give it to those that need it. And so that's how I kind of fit all in the mix. This is one of my passions, one of the things that I'm very passionate about doing, is being able to encourage these young mothers to live their purpose. And just to remember, don't let your circumstances to define you, because we all do things in life that we're not necessarily proud of, but it doesn't mean that we're bad people. And so we're not condoning it and we're not condemning it. We're helping them to transition with their situation so they can be greater women. So that's how I fit in the mix. If you're just wondering, well, what does that have to do with you? I didn't say that in the beginning. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first question is, we're going to start with, in 3 words, describe what it meant to be a teen mom. So Lakeisha, I'm going to give that one to you. Then if somebody else wants to piggyback off it, they can.
3 words it meant to me, and I actually was thinking about it earlier. And I want to definitely say that because this is the way I felt, I know others may have not felt this way. And in the process of me feeling this way, of course, during the process of me being pregnant and having my child, it changed. But those 3 words for me was scary, selflessness, and sacrifice. All 3 of those, I had a lot of those emotions running through me, probably more scared than anything. But as I went on and I started to learn, and the progress began to get better for me. But even now as an adult, it's still scary sometimes. So those are the 3 words for me.
Does anybody else want to answer that question? That was good because I was thinking about that myself, and scary was definitely my number one. Just not knowing what's going to happen, not knowing, am I going to ruin this child's life? Am I going to be a good mother? Am I going to, know what to do? Am I going to know how to feed her and how to clothe her? And what happens if she cries? All of those things, it just runs through your head. And so, it's even double when you're a younger mother versus a more mature mother, because you have that immaturity of trying to figure out who you are, on top of you have this little innocent baby, and it's like, okay, you're responsible for this baby. And so I can definitely agree with Keisha. Scary was definitely my top word. And like you said, even today, I look at my 23-year-old and I'm thinking, am I really her mother? It's just, it's amazing. So does anybody else want to answer that question?
Dante, can
Um,
you hear me? This is your Nita. Can you hear me?
Uh, we can
yeah.
hear you now, but I don't see
On
you.
different tablet, it is coming under Tawanda Vaughn.
Oh, I was trying to figure out. I was like, who is that?
I actually just realized it myself. I was like, oops, I'm here.
Okay, let me turn your video on because I thought it was a guest, so I turned your video off. So listen, you guys, for those of you who wonder, they ain't got together. We do have together. You always have these little kinks anytime you do something. So this is one of our authors. So we're gonna let her introduce herself, and then you can answer the question too while you're at it.
Okay, I'm like, can you guys see me? It looks kind of weird to me. But anyway, I'm gonna see. But anyway, I'm Unita, T. Curtis Fuller. Hope you guys can see me and hear me. I'm always somewhere where there's no light. I don't know. But anyway, what about me? I've had since the having a child at 19, I've had 6 more. So it looks like I was having a lot of fun having a few kids. But right now, I just live my life to empower people to press past obstacles and don't go with the statistics. Never ever listen to the negativity, and you will be able to bounce back from anything. So I live that, and I feel like I am a great example of that. So I don't like talking about myself that much, but that's just I'm a mom, I'm a wife, and I did marry the guy of the firstborn child. So we're still together, and we have a happy marriage. And God is the one that holds it all together. So it doesn't have to end the way that statistics say.
Wonderful. So I guess, Alexis, I'm going to get you to answer that question because you are still living it. So what are 3 words that describe how you feel even now when you look at your daughter?
So, 3 words, hot. It's kind of tough to only pick out 3 words because I feel like it's I guess I don't know. I feel nervous. Um, Sometimes even like unwanted, but like it was more of something that was when I first had her because of not unwanted from like my family, but from society to know that oh she's still she's so young and she had a child and how is she still doing it? So I was kind of I guess I would be say scared as well. So nervous, unwanted, and scared, and it's kind of still scary as it's now because nobody will know if I have a daughter unless I tell them. So yeah.
That's awesome. So does anybody else want to answer that question before we go to the next one?
I think mine is a little bit different. I
All right.
felt,
So the next question. Go ahead, Christina.
oh, okay. Um, for me, my 3 words were love, forgiveness, and determination. Um, at that time, I did not really feel like I had it, and I'll tell anyone my daughter saved my life because I was spiraling out of control, and conceiving her caused me to gain refocus on what I needed to do for myself and for her. So it was a love that I had not, I didn't feel that I had experienced of being unconditional. It made me determined that no matter what came my way, I could do it for the sake of her, but it also taught me to understand that we are all human and that I had to forgive a lot of the things that had transpired between myself and my family in the conception of her, and how their reaction to finding out that I was pregnant at that time occurred. It was a transformation that humbled me, but saved me all at the same time.
That's awesome. You said something that was very powerful. You said forgiveness. Now, I'm not sure about the other authors, but I know for me, forgiveness was something big, especially to the absent father of my child. It took me years to forgive him for that because I felt like I was left stranded, like I was just kicked to the curb, like Alabama trash, as they say. And it was very hurtful. And so for a lot of time, I was bitter and I was angry. And what I didn't understand was harboring those emotions played out in my life in other areas. And so I think forgiveness is very big. That's a very big thing. And if we don't deal with that forgiveness, no matter what area in our life that we are dealing with, it's going to haunt us. And before you know it, it's just going to bubble up and it's going to burst like a volcano. So forgiveness is definitely really big. So moving on to the next question. This one's going to be for you. Describe the point in your life when you knew it was time to make a comeback.
Okay. Well, with me, because it was intertwined, like my teenage pregnancy was intertwined with being abused, I knew it was time to make a comeback when things just continued to get worse between me and the other parents. So much so where I needed to like go and get a restraining order and all of that. There was a time, because of where I was, they allowed us to come in. It was like a little house that they turned into an office for anybody suffering from domestic violence to come and get help. And so I went there to the house and I talked to the lady, and I was very afraid, but I knew I needed to go because things were just escalating. And she told me, if you don't show up to courts, then I am going to have to report you to DCFS. And I was terrified, but more terrified of him, so I didn't show up to court. So after her actually going through with filing charges, that's when I knew I needed to make some type of decision, because what I was doing and what I wasn't doing could have possibly led to me losing my child. So at that point, I knew I needed to get out, get help, and then I finally did what I should have done in the first place, which was leave and get support so that we would be okay.
That's awesome. And, just like a lot of mothers, when it comes down to our children, listen, if it's do or die, it's not going to be them. And so we
Right.
make the decisions that we need to make. And I think that's awesome. That's awesome. Sana, I'm going to let you answer that one too.
Okay, so for me, the point that I knew I had to get my life together really came from my son's father's father. So my son's grandfather. I was living with them at the time, him and in his house, and one day he just literally gave me a mirror and said, "Look at yourself in the mirror. You don't even look like yourself. You're unrecognizable right now." And he said, "You need to leave my son because he's no good for you." And that for me was like, that was it. That was kind of like, I would be a fool to stay. And when I actually looked at myself in the mirror, really looked at myself, I saw that, I couldn't recognize who I was. I had completely lost who I was, trying to get someone to love me.
That's amazing. Sometimes we hear things differently when somebody else is looking at our situation from the outside and they're trying to show us what we cannot see. Like people say, you have rose-colored glasses, but it's hard sometimes to see when you're in the middle of it. And so to have somebody that loves you enough to say, listen, this is not you. You were created to be better than this. And for it to even come not from your own flesh and blood is awesome.
Exactly.
Is truly awesome that he would even be able to humble himself enough to say, my son is no good for you. Because I've seen parents who have seen their children, whether it was their son or daughter, treat people wrong, and they sit back and act like it's not anything. It's just another day in the world. And so that's absolutely amazing. So does anybody else want to answer that question before we go to the next one? All right. So the next question, Ms. Uranita, I'm going to let you start this one off. What is one piece of advice that you would give to a teen mom today?
Um, because my challenge was always listening to a lot of negativity and then beginning to internalize the negativity and my life going in a downward spiral from that point. I believe that when you don't believe in yourself, it's real easy to believe the lies and and begin to put that in your heart, and then you become what people say that you are. So my advice to a teen mom is to stay away from that negativity and begin to believe in yourself and find out who you are. You are not a mistake, and your child isn't either, but that you need to focus on the positivity of why it was allowed, because life is absolutely precious regardless of what age you have your child. So the biggest advice is what I talk about the most. Do not listen to that. You listen to that, you will become that. And for the rest of your life, somewhere around later on, when you get in your 30s and your 40s, you'll be thinking, why did I listen to that? Why did I waste my life on what people say as opposed to discovering what my purpose is in the earth? So that is my advice. No negativity. Do not internalize it at all.
You know what? You said something that was so powerful, and you said you have to believe in yourself. And I can remember it took me years. And when I say years, I mean well into adulthood, till I finally got to the point where I believed in myself. And that is so crucial. And a lot of it has to depend on your background, and if you have support, or and all of that does play a part. But in the core of everything that you go through, if you don't believe in yourself, you're going to stay stuck no matter where you are. And that's where I was doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, because I didn't believe in myself. I didn't think that I was anything more than what they labeled me, anything more than a statistic. So it took me years to get to the point where I finally felt like, you know what? It's okay to believe in you. It's okay for you to still have dreams and passions and to go after them. Like, just because you have a child doesn't mean that your life is over. But I heard that for so long that I lived it. I absolutely lived it. And so for any young mother that is watching this on the replay, I want you to hear our heart. Believe in yourself. I don't care how many naysayers you have in your ear. I don't care how many people tell you ruined your life, that your life is over, that you're never going to be this, or you're never going to be that, and your child is going to be this, and your child is going to be that. You have to tune all that stuff out. And with inside of yourself, you have to know that you know that you know that whatever is on the inside of you is greater than what you're looking at right now. And that it is important, it is crucial, it is imperative for you to believe in yourself. Because if you don't believe in yourself, you're going to stay stuck. You're going to stay depending on other people to take care of you. You're going to stay stuck depending on government assistance. You're going to stay stuck, living in substandard housing and all of that stuff. You're going to stay stuck in a cycle. And so you have to come out of that mindset, and you have to shift, and you have to do what's unnatural. It doesn't matter if everybody else around you stays stuck. You don't have to stay there. You have the power within yourself to shift out of that situation. But it starts here. If you can't believe it here, it'll never manifest. If you can't dream it and envision it here, you'll never see the fruit of your labor. We want to encourage you to believe in yourself. Lakeisha, you have anything you want to add?
Well, it's just funny that Nita said that because I was thinking the same thing, that if I would have known then what I know today, whose I am and who my creator is and who he says that, or who he said I would have been today, I think that, but you know, as a teenager, you're looking at everything else. You have your friends, you have things that are challenging you, you have high school, you have so much that you're dealing with. You don't even know who you are at that moment. And so you really have to, even at, I was 18 when I had my first child, and I was like others on here going through domestic violence at the same time. So it is very, very important to, you know, surround yourself with positive people that love you and that trust you and who will say, you know what, you can make it, you can do this, instead of people that'll say, you should have never did this. What are you doing? Oh, you should have had an abortion. No, get yourself around positive people who will push you, people who you can trust, people who will say, you know what, I'm going to be here if you need me. But I feel like if I had even just went after knowing who I was a little bit, because like you, way into my adulthood did I not know who I was. Like I just figured this thing out, y'all, and I'm still figuring it out. And I'm like, wow. So it's just amazing, period, to figure out all this good stuff about myself. Even then at 18, you know, having a child and doing this and doing that is so, so, so important to know who you are, and most importantly, to know whose you are.
That is, I couldn't have said it better. I could not have said it better. That is absolutely yes, 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 and yes. All right. So the next question, Miss Christina, this one goes to you first. Um, what does being a mom mean to you?
Um, Being a mom for me is a blessing. Again, I say my daughter saved my life. Um, we always say that there's a time and a place for everything. And in my mind, I had this picture perfect idea of marriage, degrees, you know, being established, and then all of that. But being her mom gave me the confidence and the strength and the ability to overcome and face a lot of things, because I looked at her and I knew that I had to be absolutely everything I could possibly be for her. And so it caused me to have my reservations, but to put my reservations to the side and push forward, even when I had those reservations, simply because I could not afford to allow her to be hungry or outside or go without in any shape, form, or fashion. And so being her mom, um, I was her superhero and I was okay being her superhero. And I didn't want to ever um, not be that for her. If there was something in her mind, I could do anything, I could get anything, I could be anything. And that helped me to get to where I was, because it also started to show me my strengths of what I really was capable of doing, even when I couldn't see it in myself. So, my daughter and being her mom is a blessing, a privilege, an honor, and it's just an overjoying experience that I've had the opportunity to have with her.
Oh, that was so lovely. So we're going to let everybody answer that question. So whoever wants to go next, you guys just kind of jump in and follow after each other.
Well, next, Shantae, I'm fighting back tears. You guys are amazing. Um, Before I had her, I attempted suicide. I attempted it, and I know why God kept me alive. Latia, my firstborn, when I would see her, I would remember that I needed to live. Um, she needed me, and I will always picture her what it would be like without me because I didn't have such a supportive family. And so when those thoughts would come back to me, I would see her. So what people would say was a mistake or an error on my part ended up being the very thing that gave me a reason to live. And so that's how amazing God is. He says he makes all things beautiful in its time. So she helped me to want to live. And I wanted her to have a better life than what I had. So being a mom to her, the reason she kept me wanting to live. I'm done. I can't even talk no more. I'm choking up over here.
For me, my son was my blood. And I say that because I come from foster care and being adopted. So he was the first person that I could really look at and know that he was mine, that he shared my blood. Um, and he kept me on my toes because he made me have to survive. You know, he gave me a new fight. He gave me a breath of fresh air. I had to survive not just for myself but for him. And even now, I look at him, he'll be 16 in a few weeks, and I just think about the fact that, he loved me more than I loved me. From the moment he was born, he loved me more than I loved me. And, even to this day, you look in your child's eyes and all the wrong that you've done, everything that you've had to sacrifice, things that they will probably never remember, and things that they do remember, they don't hold you at bay for that stuff. They still love you regardlessly. They still have a love for you that is just amazing. In their eyes, you can do no wrong. And I forever look at him every day, and I'm like, I wish I would have been a better mom. I wish I could have, been stable and settled and all those good things so that he could have been, so much better. But even through all that, he still loves me. He still loves me. And so for me, he keeps me going, man. He keeps me going when I want to give up. And now that I have a daughter who I was able to do things the total opposite because I was in such a different place in my life. I was more settled with her. I look at her and sometimes I feel like, she gets more than him.
Yeah.
She doesn't suffer as much as he had to suffer. And I begin to feel guilty for that. But he constantly reminds me, like, Mom, like, I love you. There's no wrong that you could have done. And I thank God for grace. I thank God for grace because it could have definitely been another way. I could have been someone that he doesn't like. I could have been someone that he, doesn't like to tolerate. He could hate me. He could absolutely hate me for some of the things that we've had to go through together, but he doesn't. And so I thank God daily for grace.
Okay, who's next?
Okay. On an overall spectrum for me, I feel like that being a mother was finding a new me through the criticism, the advice, and the judgment, and learning how to be confident in all the decisions that I made. And when you have a child, it's like you know someone else better than yourself. So me just getting to know my daughter and learning like what she's going through is the same thing that I'm going through, and so we're able to grow and learn at the same time. And that's kind of what being a mother is to me.
That's so beautiful. All right, who's next?
Hey, I'll go ahead and go. So for me, being a mom, it is a challenging yet rewarding experience. I've learned a lot, and I learn every day. They challenge me to want to be more and do more so that they don't have to struggle. And I can relate to what one of the other ladies said about some of the mom guilt sometimes, because the youngest one didn't have to struggle as much as the oldest. But again, I'm glad for God's grace, His wisdom, His guidance, and teaching me how to be a mom. Every day I'm praying with them and by myself, just for God to give me the strength to keep going, because it's so much I still want to do. It's a lot that I have done, but it's so much I want to do so that I can show them, hey, you don't have to be what anybody else says about you. Whatever you decide to be, that's who you can be. So it's been challenging, rewarding, but it's a gift from God. What they said was going to ruin my life actually is one of the biggest blessings that I have.
And for me, during my whole 20 years of being a mother, Alexis said is something I was going to say. It was a gift for me. I finally realized it was a gift because I was forced to grow up with my child. So it was almost like, and I think I know one of the other ladies said it too, the guilt. I think we all feel that guilt. And I still, to this day, I just seen him yesterday and I'm like, oh my gosh, did I do right by him? And he doesn't look at that. He does not look at the fact that mom was in an abusive relationship. What he saw and what he still sees to this day is mom protected me. Mom did not allow me to get hit. Mom made sure I ate every day. Mom made sure I was clean. I grew up with this child. I was forced to become an adult. Very, very scary for me in the beginning. But then I started to learn with my child. So I realized that it really was a gift. And where they think I was a gift, they were actually a gift to me, because I was able to finally say, you know what? I have to get myself together, if not for me, for my children.
Oh, yes, I can relate to so much, so much, so much. Um, who's next? I don't think that's everybody yet. You, Renita, have you went? Okay, you're off of mute.
That I think I did answer that question if I'm not lost. I think I did.
Oh, did you answer it first?
I think I did. in these amazing.
Oh my gosh. So, I mean, I am just over here just trying to hold back the tears,
I need a box of
because I can so relate to everything that each one of you ladies have said. And, and to be quite honest, that's really something that's almost indescribable, you know. Of course, it makes us think to, the things that we wish we would have done, the things we wish we would have known. And, like Lakeisha says, when you look at your child and you're wondering, oh my God, did I do right by them? Did I teach them right? And, even when I look at my daughter now as she's getting ready to go to law school, um, in my mind, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, did I prepare her? Is she going to be able to do it? And I think about all the things that I did wrong. And I think about all the times that I messed up and when I didn't make wise decisions. And, I wished I had been done this and wished I had been more consistent in this area, more disciplined in this area. And, and when I hear her talk and, when she talks about me, it's nothing but pure joy. you know, they see our faults, but our love overpowers that. And that's where the grace of God is. That, they don't hate us for our mistakes. Many of them had to grow up, being a mom at 15. I didn't know who I was. And so, we grew up together, And so, and I can just remember not having a clue about anything. Even when I, went on my own and, we had our little first apartment, not knowing anything and just trying to survive. And when you look in hindsight and you think about all the bad decisions you made, and you just think, oh my God, what was wrong with me? And you wonder, well, how did that affect them? Are they okay? Is it gonna bother them when they get older? And then you look at them and you watch them grow and how they mature. And it's like, that's your sign to say that it's okay. That's our reminder that we did the best we could at that time. Right. And that whatever we didn't do, God covered the rest. You know what I mean? And so just listening to you ladies, I just started to reminisce, on my own motherhood journey, still motherhood journey, and I just began to just thank God, that it could have been different, like Sana said. My daughter really could have hated me. She could really be like, when I get 18, I'm not having anything to do with you. And for them to still, say, Mommy, you didn't call me, or, even though I see her every day. But, it's just those things that, because as we have matured as women, we realize that there are some things we wish we could undo. But in the eyes of our children, it's as if God has given them the understanding that she did the best she could then. And it's like it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? And so that's the graceful thing of it all. And so I have just greatly enjoyed, especially that question. It was funny because I was writing the question down. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna do that question, but it was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. So to you young mothers out there, stop stressing on trying to be a perfect mom. There is no perfect mom. Love your children the best way you know how. Make the best informed decisions that you can at the time. And if you need help, don't not ask for it. I know that wasn't correct English, right? If you need help, ask for it. Don't try to grow through something by yourself and you don't have to. But as you are a mother and as you will make mistakes, don't dwell on it. If you can correct it, you correct it. But nevertheless, you do the best you can at that moment. Your children will still love you. Okay, remember who said it. But our children, we are their first role models. And so while we see all of the bad stuff, they see is, this is my mommy and I love her. And I know she loves me. Never, ever forget that you are a mother and you are loved by your child. Never, ever let that get out of your heart and out of your mind. So don't stress yourself out trying to be like everybody else or trying to do things and trying to make sure you're not missing out on this and you're stressed out and you're having to compromise to get this. And, don't do that. Love your children the best way you know how. And don't worry about the rest. Do not worry about the rest, because in the whole scheme of things, all of that extra stuff we do, it really doesn't matter. They only make a big deal about it because we make a big deal about it. I had to learn that my daughter didn't care about all the extra stuff I was trying to get her, trying to make up for the absent parent. She didn't care about none of that. I made a big deal out of it. And so because I made a big deal out of it, it was a big deal to her. If I had never said anything, she wouldn't have known any different. Why? Because she had a mother that loved her. And it's the same thing with your children. They have you who love them. Nobody's going to love your children like you do. So focus on that. Focus on loving your children and having a positive relationship with them. And then as they grow, your joy is going to be watching them mature and grow into beautiful young women and handsome young men. All right. So listen, you guys, I think that's a good a good ending point for this webinar. We thank you guys so much for tuning in. We thank you for those who are watching the replay. At this time, ladies, go ahead and drop your website links. Oh, let me stop. I need you guys to tell everybody how they can connect with you, how they can follow you on social media, and then make sure you drop your website links on how they can purchase the book from each one of you. So I'm just going to go across the pictures that I see on my screen, which is Lakeisha, Witt, Sana, Christina, Yurnita, and then Alexis is last on my screen. So we're just going to go in that order.
Yes, you can find me on Instagram at I am Keisha Bowling, Facebook, same name, Keisha Bowling. My website address, you can purchase all of my books at www.freeandfearless.net.
Hi there. This is Wit again. You can follow me on Instagram at Wit Devereaux and also on Facebook at Wit Devereaux. My website, I'll go ahead and spell it. It's witdevereaux.com, but it's WHITDEVEREaux.com.
Hello. You can connect with me, Sana, on all social media platforms at Sana Latrice or via my website at sanalatrice.com, and that's SANALATREASE.com.
Okay, I think I'm next, so I'll go ahead. On Facebook, you can find me at Uranita T. Curtis Fuller. The first name spelling is Yerinita. You can find me on Instagram at Love Lifts Us with an S. Love Lifts Us on Instagram. On the website, it's www.lovelifts with an S us1.org.
Christina.
Good evening. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook. It is Christina Worth. And I have it linked through the website. So it is we at IamStillSomebody.com for the book.
Miss Alexis.
You can find me on Facebook at Alexis Bates, Instagram at I am Alexis to you with an underscore, and my website at lifewithalexisbates.com.
All right. Did I miss anybody? I don't think I did. So again, you guys, my name is Shanti Williams, and I am the CEO and founder of I Am Stll Somebody, nonprofit organization for teen moms. And I am so elated that you guys joining us or you are watching the replays. And my awesome virtual assistant is on here, Miss Rhonda Braden. She's very shy and quiet and she didn't want to speak, but that's okay. I'm going to call her out anyway. And so she helps keep me straight and she makes sure that I'm doing things in order as much as I'll let her. I know she's very frustrated with me sometimes, but hey, that's life sometimes. So listen, you guys, make sure that you follow all of our authors on their respective social media platforms and go to their website and order their books. And make sure you support. They have a lot of other things that are going on. So we definitely want you to make sure you stay connected with them. They are doing amazing things and they are making their footprint in this world. So we're letting the world know that we are not a statistic, that we are a success, and that we are women of resilience. We made the ultimate comeback because we did not give up and we did not give in. We decided to defeat the odds that were against us. and we made a success out of our lives and continue to make a success of our lives and making a legacy for our children and for their children and for their children and for their children. And guess what? You can do the same thing. So we invite you to follow us on all social media at Greater Women. Go to our website, amstllsomebody.com. You can check out volume 1. And then when volume 2 drops, May 1st is the release date. So we are absolutely excited about that. It drops on May 1st. So stay tuned and on the lookout for that. So listen, you guys, have a great night. Thank you so much for tuning in with us. And we can't wait to see you again. All right. So have a great one. And remember, the next time you see a teen mother, the next time you see a young mother, remind them that they are still somebody, that they are a woman of resilience, that they don't have to give up. Right? They can still live their dream and do the things that are in their heart. They just have to be disciplined, they have to be dedicated, and they have to be committed. So instead of judging them, encourage them. Instead of looking down on them, love on them. Give them a hug. Tell them they're doing a great job. Encourage them to go beyond their circumstances, because it's not who they are. It's just a chapter in their life. And just like any other book, there's another chapter after it. All right, so let's just make this world a better place and just love on each other and encourage each other just to keep moving forward. Again, we are signing off. This is the Power of Resilience webinar with the authors of There is a Jewel in You anthology, volume 2. And we are excited and we can't wait to chat with you on social media. You guys have a great night. Bye-bye.